Hey, yo, what's good? You know what it is. You were back with another episode of No More Timeouts. You know you're rocking with your boy Rosh and JJ. And man, let me tell you who is with us today.
Come on.
My brother, my dog, the real one. You know it says Lenny, but I know him as Mr. Stevens. I know him as Leonard. Lenny Wine. Do it one more time.
Come on. My
Hey
God.
man, it's our guy right here, man. Every people that's listening can't see. This my brother. I just want to give y'all a little intro to this man. Man, I met Lenny a long time ago, junior high. When your boy was the one to know in Fremont, promoting for Club Mangoes. Everybody know about Club Mangoes. Me and Lenny used to be up in there tearing it up, and that's how it is. And then one day I ended up playing in a JV tournament when I was actually only like 8th grade, 9th grade. We went to a basketball tournament, and next thing you know, Newark Memorial, going to go play Newark, standing on the half court. The coach bring a sub in, and look who comes waltzing their ass into the game.
Chopping it up.
And then ever since then, we been rocking. You know what I'm saying? I ended up transferring over to the school with him, and we've been close ever since. Me and Lenny have been literally side by side for every moment that I really, really can think about. Really one of my most loyal friends. I can definitely say that. He's a great guy, great individual. He's always somebody I know when I call. He gonna show up. He gonna be there for me, and that's the one thing I love about this man. But the crazy thing is, y'all gotta understand how these two met.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, man. Lenny shows up. He's one of those people that he checks in on all his people, bro. So you got to give him all the credit for that. I actually knew Lenny. We had mutual friends like you and a bunch of other people, Silu. But the day we actually started hanging out was random because we were both out of town. I was just in San Diego for a San Diego Charger Oakland Raider game, which is, neither teams exist anymore. And Lenny was out there. We ran into each other at the club on a Saturday before the game. We was like, bro, we're doing the same thing. We're both supporting the Raiders. Like, we might as well just kick it. So ever since that, we was like, we might as well just kick it from there, bro.
And y'all remember y'all called me that night too, right?
For real?
You did.
Leonard called me.
Like,
I talked to you the next day.
Yeah. We might as well kick it, bro. Like, we knew each other already anyway, so let's kick it, bro. You're a real one, diehard Raider fan, so we had to get you on here for this Raider preview show and just talk about a lot of the offseason moves, a lot of the transactions that's been going on with the Raiders. But yeah, man, let's start from the beginning. I mean, you had a lot of tailgate memories. After we met, I started going to your tailgates that you had every Sunday at home games in Oakland. So talk to me about those tailgates. What do you remember from them?
Man, it was a good time. Like, it was one of those times where you just look forward to going every morning, Sunday morning. Like, the game starts at 1:00. You'll have people lined up outside at like 7 a.m. to get a good spot.
We going to church.
It's like you're going to church. You know what I mean? But, when you get in, it's a whole like Raider Nation reunion. Like, it's all love. You see, everyone connected. You got good food, good music, and just good vibes, and that was a moment that, we'll never forget about. So I love it, and I missed it. Like, there was times where, like, other fans will come. They'll be afraid sometimes because, we'll boo them when they get close to our area, like, get out of here and everything. But man, it's all love.
Yeah, it was love. I got memories, bro. I can see you right now on the speaker with your microphone before the game. I can see it in my head right now, bro. You was the DJ, the MC of Lot B. I remember that in my head.
It started because, like, I was just hanging out with my brothers, Chris, Ryan, and Dan Rodriguez, and we just used to just be us three, like, just bringing little drinks and smoking before, and then we're like, bro, like, we need to do our own like big tailgate. and Chris was like, I'm
But,
about to
but before you get too far, shout out Ryan, Chris, and
shout out
Lenny,
Chris and
the
Ryan.
whole
Shout out
clique.
to the gang.
Ryan, we just came back from from a little bachelor party for my boy Ryan
Yeah.
in New Orleans, which was a vibe.
Congratulations to my boy Ryan, man.
We had a great time. But congratulations to my boy Ryan. He's gonna be married soon to actually an ex-Raider at. You feel me?
Full
Which
circle,
is
man.
crazy.
It's all
Full circle. But I just want to throw that out there. Everybody, not to cut Lenny off, but everybody that was in that group, everybody from top to the bottom of that group, they were actually all there during this. It's crazy. Ryan's little brother, all his homies, they used to always be with us at the tailgate, so that we were all together. So it was kind of like a tailgate throwback for us, which was cool. But the best thing about it was, just with that whole group is so diverse. You would never really look at a group like how we were and be like, oh, they really hang out. Like people, even when we were in New Orleans, were looking at us like, oh, y'all together? Like, you feel me? Like, yeah. And it's just one of the things where that's what being a Raider fan is about. You know what I'm saying? Bringing people together that you would never really say. There's not the demographic of a Raider fan like most. I won't even say like most other fans, because every fan is different. But I think Raider Nation is probably the most diverse nation out, and they all really, really click with each other. You know what I'm saying? You don't see us fighting each other at games. Shit,
Yeah, the other team. We ain't gonna talk about that. But I found a video from the tailgate. I don't know if I can show it, but
man, you should it. If you could get it to show, you should have sent it to me.
A little clip.
Give me the audio. Let's put it close. Let's see what we get.
It was. I was really emceeing the whole thing.
MC Lilith. You know what
it
is? That's honestly, man. That's amazing. And it's but also, let's not attest, Jeremy, you still always be out there too. This is something that, we've actually never said on the pod for a long time, but Jeremy was out there because he is definitely a family member of a very, very, very great all-time Raider that we all know and love, Mr. Cliff Branch.
Very great.
R.I.P. Cliff Branch. And it's amazing. And it's the crazy thing about it. One thing I love about Jeremy, he never ever felt like, never put it out there to the point like, oh yeah, that's my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was always so humble. And the thing about it is that's why I love him. You know what I'm saying? The humbleness is just it's out this world. But it's just crazy shit. You never know who you're running into. You never know who you're meeting. You never know, the people that are there. So man, I miss it. Oh, I miss it so much.
I miss it too, man. I miss it too. Those are my biggest memories too of going to games, because that was tradition. Like I would go see my uncle. He would be across the street at the Raider image store signing autographs. So I would try to get up at 8 a.m, go say what's up to him. Take whoever I'm with to go say hi to him. He'd sign whatever for them, and then I would go, hang out with you at 10:30. So that was tradition, bro. So that was. Good times, bro. I definitely miss those days.
It was. I remember all the times when Lenny used to call me hella early, because me, I used to go hard Saturday nights. So I used to be outside, bro. Y'all know, both of y'all know Rose, man.
I had to make that morning call though.
Hey, he used to call me, I swear, 8 o'clock, and I used to be mad as fuck too. 8 o'clock in the morning, bro. I used to be like, man, you lucky I gotta set my light up right now. Hey, where you at? We got here, you coming? Yeah, bro. I'll be here in like an hour. I'll show up 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later.
We was we can really just catch BART and just get there. It wasn't really that far from where we stay. So you found your way. You can get called at 8, 9, I'll be there in an hour. And you pull up, it's a big party.
Easy. Yep. So man, let's get into a couple of these topics here. So first thing, I just want to hear, quickly how you guys became Raider fans. Obviously, there's another team in the Bay, and you could be a fan of anybody who you want at this point. You don't have to be tied to the Raiders and the Niners because you're in the Bay. So how did you guys actually become Raider fans?
Go ahead, Lenny.
I'll make it quick and short. Basically, my mom's from LA, my dad's from the Bay, Oakland. my dad and my grandpa, rest in peace, they used to go to Raider games. It was like a tradition. So when I was born, my mom and my dad used to take me and my sister to LA every summer. And at the time, that's when the Raiders were playing in LA. So my dad used to go to the training camps, and they used to think my dad was an NFL player on the Raiders. So I was in the training camp facility with Raymond Chester, Howie Long, like all these players, and they will let my dad work out, and like they would not know he's just a regular dude from Oakland, just out there for the summer. And after that, man, just being around that whole environment, being around leaders, and then I went to the last game in LA before they moved to back to the Bay. I just been locked in since, bro. And when they moved back to Oakland, I had season tickets, and it's been there ever since, bro.
Yeah.
What
You know the craziest shit I can honestly say? I can't really put my finger on it. And it's weird to say it like that because I made that choice at a very young age. And like, but I wasn't really fully into football. I was a hooper, you know what I'm saying? I was mainly in the hoop. Like when it came to hoop, that was it. That was me. It was hoop and other things like that. Hoop and music. Y'all know me dancing. That was my thing. It wasn't really sports yet. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was good at them because I grew up in apartments, played them all the time. But I wasn't really into sports. But if I had to choose, but I think, and not to think, but I do know it was funny because my mom used to work for Samtrans, which is one of the BART systems in the city. And she used to work on the weekend. She used to work every Sunday for the the Niner games. She used to drive to the Niner games. She used to always go to the games. People loved her, so they used to give her like memorabilia, hella stuff, and she used to bring it home to me, and I never wanted it. Never. Like I never wanted it. I don't know what it was. I couldn't tell you why. Like it never really appeased to me. And then I think one day I remember when I really finally got into football. I remember watching, and this was actually around the time we were it was about 2002 when we went to the Super Bowl, right? The year before that, before Jerry Rice came over. When that whole trade went down, that's when I started like, oh, okay. Like I started really paying attention to what's going on. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you can actually kind of not say I'm a bad way because at the end of the day, I'm about 20, 30 years deep in this shit now. But at that time, I was young and I didn't really know who to cheer for. And the Raiders were good. You know what I'm saying? And they were really good. And so, I knew I didn't know one thing. I knew Jerry Rice was one of the greatest receivers in the game. So when I realized that one of the greatest receivers in the game goes to this team, and now two of the greatest receivers in the game are playing together, and this team was on a run, and I loved Gruden at the time. I just loved his attitude, how he was, like what he brought to the table. The Bill Romanowskis, like just everything about the team. It was so gritty, so like it was like I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I lived for it, and I think that's what just drug me in, dog. And then after we lost, it was crazy too. We lost that Super Bowl, then we kind of went downhill after that. So I've been arguing for our team ever since we lost the Super Bowl. And it's just been going on. And honestly, I think it's also it was the passion of everybody, how I seen it, how I feel, how for me, everywhere I seen, you would get so much love for being a Raider fan because people respected it. And I think that's really what drug me in, you know what I'm saying? But it maybe a little bit to kind of not spite my mom, but go against what she wanted me to do, you know what I'm saying? But it's cool because even to this day, she's still a Niner fan. My nephew's torn right now,
keep working on him, man. Just keep working on him.
Bro,
buying some gear.
Hey,
get him a hat every once in a while. That's it.
It's funny because I got videos of a little kid, Raider Mation, hella shit. You know what I'm saying? And the other day, he's about 12 now, about to be 12. The other day, he my sister's boyfriend bought him a little Niner shirt. I went to his little party. I said, "Who the hell bought you that?" He look at me. He don't say nothing. My sister look at me because she already knew. She knew what time it was. The minute I said she knew what it was, and she goes, "Don't say nothing." I said, "Don't say what?" And then I asked, "Who bought her back?" And then her boyfriend spoke. "Oh, I did." I said, "Hey, bro, hey, bro, look, you cool, but don't hell no, what? Yeah. Hey, but he likes him. If that's what he wants, I ain't gonna be mad. I'm not gonna, I love my nephew regardless of what he wants. And actually even thinking about maybe dragging his little ass to a little Niner game coming up, you know, just so he can come and see if that's what he wants. I might take him to both, let him see what he really wants to pick, and then, you know, let him enjoy it. But at the end of the day, he's a kid. He's impressionable, you know, kind of around the same age when I made my choice. So, hey, happy for him. Jeremy, what about
crazy.
you?
Well, I was going to say, you know, you were talking about the Super Bowl in 2002. You know, I just, whenever the day is that we actually get good again, like it's going to feel a lot better because we've had so many down seasons. So whenever that day does come, because we're not consistently good, like I just know it's going to be way better than a normal turnaround. You know what I mean? Because it's been 20 years really of us being
20,
you know, mediocre.
20.
Let me stop this. Let me stop real quick. I know they call me Optimistic Lenny.
Yes, that's another one of your nicknames for sure.
Another,
but I mean, being good is obviously going to Super Bowl and everything, but we did just go to the playoffs 2 years ago.
Okay,
we did
one time though, Lenny. Like I'm talking about year in and year out.
Yeah, year out. That's what we need.
I just want to be consistently good.
Thank you. I don't want to go to the playoffs one year and then turn around and not know what's going to happen the next year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for us, most of these a lot of teams that are good, you know your team gonna make to the playoffs. It's really what you worse than if you're gonna make it to a Super Bowl. And we can't even sit here and say that shit. And I'm tired of that shit.
And the three teams that we know that's gonna make it to the playoffs in the AFC West is the Chiefs, Buffalo, and who am I missing?
Hey, we could talk about that honestly, but I'm not even sold on Buffalo. But that's another.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other. I promise you.
Bengals.
Hey, hold on, bro. That's my fantasy quarterback. We better be sold on them niggas.
I'm just saying, it's a lot going on in Buffalo, man. But yeah. So for me, yeah, you obviously I had no choice. You know, my uncle's Cliff Branch. You know, my dad moved out. My whole family's from Houston, so my dad was a senior in college. My uncle was like 3-4 years in the league, and he was just like, bro, my big brother is on the Raiders. Like, I'm graduating college. Like, I'm moving to the Bay. We all would have did the same thing. So that's how my family, you know, all my other family stayed in Houston. My dad moved to the Bay, and that's it, man. I really had no choice. Going to games when I was a kid, it was like the funnest thing ever. I would go straight from church in my church clothes, straight to the Coliseum. And you know, we had suites back in the day, but you know, as I got older, I started going by myself, and you know, my uncle would give me like season tickets. So that was the best, bro. I can't lie to you, that was the best.
Dude, I remember when I found out that was your uncle. You know how hard it was for me to not ask to meet him. See, that's
the crazy part. Like anybody could have met him. He was so cool just to sign stuff. And like when I brought girls to the game, he would always like hit on them. It was the funniest thing. Like,
he only said one time. You brought me around him one time. He was around a lot of people, and I just said hi, and he said hi. But
he would have signed anything for you.
But you know, we starstruck. You just looking at him as Uck. You know, we looking at him as like, man, that's the
gamer, man.
That's I don't think I since sliced bread to us.
Yeah, I don't think I really understood it like as a kid. Like I was like, oh yeah, he played for the Raiders, cool. But then when you get older and you see how people react when they meet him, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, trust me, how you think I feel when I be telling people Robert Turman my best friend? People be looking at me like hella juice. I be looking at me like it's just Robert.
And it's crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That came for like since middle school. Robert
you know what I'm saying? That's it literally somebody was saying the other day. I was like, man, he used to wrestle in his damn living room. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch him cry type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you won't know what it is. It's like I said, it's different for somebody that's so close to him, and that's good because what I've noticed about all professional athletes, they like people. They want those people around them that don't treat them no different than they're really supposed to be. So I think that's maybe why, you know, Jeremy, it was a little easier for you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, your uncle wanted that from you. You know what I'm saying? Just to be treated like your uncle, not your uncle who's Cliff Branch. So
100%. So all right, so Josh Jacobs signed this week. He's back in camp. I seen the Raiders put up. You got the Jacobs jersey.
Yes, you know, the 8. He's number 8.
Yeah, I love what they did. You know, they showed him coming into the building ready to work, and bro, we've been waiting for this. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Zamir White this preseason, so I was like, man, it made me like emphasize the fact that we needed him back in camp or getting ready for the season. So How you guys feeling that he's back? And are we expecting a big year from him?
I like the fact that he came back right in time because history shows he really never shows up to training camp. Like he trains on his own. So like at one point I kind of started thinking like, man, what are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna like sign him or is he gonna hold out? But I mean, he got a Raider tattoo on him. He's too loyal to the soil. I knew he was gonna come, and I think he's gonna have another good year. I mean, as long as the offensive line do what they do, and he recently said that his coach Josh McDaniels, I know a lot of people are not a fan of him, but he just shot him out and gave him his flowers, like, and said, "Hey, he's like the best offensive like caller I've been around." So if he's setting them up for success, that's good to know, good to hear.
Rosh, what you think?
Lenny over giving Josh McDaniels credit. Lenny, don't make me jump through the screen and strangle your ass.
Optimistic Lenny. Hey, optimistic
look,
Lenny. We need some of that. You know what I mean? I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
But I'll say this. Josh, I said this actually the other day, Lenny. We talked about this in New Orleans. I told you what it was. He just didn't want to go to training camp. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you're not paying him right now. You didn't give him the bag like he wanted. You're only at the end of the day. He knew at the end of the day he was really probably going to get this 1 year contract because that's really what was going around right now. Mm-hmm. So he's like, if that's all I'm getting, I'm not going to go into training camp and risk getting hurt. And then turn around and only get this. So next year now I have to rehab and then turn around and get a lesser deal than what I deserve because I was hurt because I went through training camp and tried to be loyal. But at the end of the day, we do know this is where he wants to be. I see how he played last year. He showed he did exactly what was asked of him last year when it came to show us what you're worth, and he did it. It just sucks right now. This is the year of the quarterbacks and the receivers getting extensions, not running backs. But I'm happy. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be real with y'all, and I told you this. I was speaking on this the whole thing, taking for Caleb, because if we was gonna have Zavir White back there, we was for sure taking for this nigga. I don't know what y'all was talking about, but now I actually have some optimism that we can actually maybe make a little bit of noise that people don't expect. And just because we have him back, having a running back of his capability, his workhorse, how you could put the ball in his hands and he can take over the game. You don't see that a lot. And to have that, I feel like that is going to put us in a very better position to win. And at the end of the day, having a brand new shiny quarterback toy, having a new player, a quarterback that could be something would be amazing. But I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired, bro. I knew if we didn't bring him back, we was gonna go right back to dealing with that shit again. And then Devontae was gonna walk out the next year.
What I want to say is,
so I'm happy he's back.
I want to add on to that is that I know that there was about 7 games last year that we were up, and if we can at least split that in half, and we won 6 games, that's 9 games right there. That's damn near you're knocking on the door to get in. So
no, we was in. We was in. We literally only was out because we literally sat Carr in those last 2 games. If we would have won that Niner game and then the game before, we would have been in the playoffs because it was that close. But I don't know, Jeremy, what you think about us bringing him back though? And how you feel?
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. He didn't want to go to training camp. That's 3-4 weeks on your body of practice when he's not getting fined. He knew exactly how much he was going to get at the end of the day. Like the Saquon deal, once Saquon signed his deal, he knew exactly like the ballpark figure he was going to get anyway, right? So
he got paid more than Saquon.
He got paid, but he knew it like it was going to be around 11 or 12 million, right? Yeah. Like the franchise was 10 million. He got like 12, right? So he knew he was going to get around that. So why sign that in July when I can sign it a week and a half before the
season? That, go through camp, risk freaking tearing Achilles, risk getting
it's the business. It's the business of it. They're doing business side and not giving him a long-term deal. Yeah. He got to do the business side too. So I get both sides.
And on top of that, he was healthy. So and that's what we want, right? We want him healthy. That's always been the issue with us is he was never healthy. And this is the first time he's going into a season fucking healthy.
I'm excited for him, man. I'm excited for him. He's special.
I'm excited that we finally got somebody because like let's do a recap of like the guys who we thought was going to be him. You know, E-Mac.
How much time we got?
Huh?
How much time we got? How much time we got? We got 2 hours for that because we can go for that. Give me a couple names. Give me a couple names.
He dropped the first one. Darren McFadden. What? Darren McFadden was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus, bro.
That was supposed to be that. In his first year, he was cool, but like, man,
Hey,
you
I don't know if
want
you
to know
guys
the crazy shit? My man,
ahead.
you want to know the crazy shit about Darren McFadden? You know what I actually been watching, like religiously for the because you know I'm at the house sick right now, you know, chilling. Bruh, I've been over here watching the Untold Story and the Untolds. I watched the Swamp Story one, and they showed that game where Arkansas went and played Florida. This getting off, he was getting locked.
No, not that game. Not that game.
The Florida game.
They locked him up. They locked him up.
They locked him
I need to finish
up.
that. I need to finish that.
Boy, I literally was over here looking like, Jesus, why are they? Because they showed a highlight of every game. I was like, why are they showing this one? And you realize, like, oh damn, they was really that boy Felix Jones had more yards than that boy.
Bro, he was a Heisman finalist.
Exactly.
He was a Heisman finalist when Tebow won it.
We'll go on the next.
He had. Yeah.
Who else you got, Lenny?
Give me another name.
Another name. I mean, he was a fan favorite, but Justin Fargas. Justin Fargas.
That was more of a fan. That was more of a fan favorite.
He was a fan favorite. My favorite watching, and I still think he was nice, was Charlie Garner. Charlie Garner was smooth. He was with the Niners before, then he came to us. That's the year we went to the bowl. He was nice when he came. I mean, obviously Napoleon Kaufman, but Charlie Garner, to me, I go Josh Jacobs, Charlie Garner, Napoleon Kaufman, and then Darren McFadden.
Yeah. So we haven't had a lot of, in between years. Go ahead.
We leaving out Bo?
Tyrone Wheatley?
Yeah, we leaving out Bo?
Oh, Bo Jackson.
Oh, I'm talking about when our era.
Oh, okay.
I
say, bro. We
talk about that. We go Marcus Allen, Bo.
I was about to drive to your house right now. Let me fight.
I'm talking about our era watching for sure.
And Charlie Garner, man, he was special though. Like I liked him. So Jimmy G comes over from the San Francisco 49ers. He actually has some interesting comments today about what's going on in the Niners. He has some shots fired, but that's another topic. But he comes over. Obviously, he played under Josh McDaniels in New England, so he knows the offense. Everybody knows that he thrives when he has a good defense, a good running game. So Josh is definitely going to help him. How are we feeling about Jimmy G? Are we feeling this is like a stopgap? Can he? Obviously his health is going to be key. Is this something that we could look forward to, or how are we feeling? You start, Roach. Go ahead, bro.
So I'm not gonna sit here and act, since we are on, episode 10. I have been not the biggest Jimmy fan. At the end of the day, I'm just not a fan of Jimmy. Like I said, I'm just not a fan of what we got rid of to turn around and bring in. That was all my thing, and the fact of how we did somebody who did so much for us. So I didn't like it, and it sucks that Jimmy has to be the one to come in after. But I will say, look, he's coming from a winning organization. He knows winning football. He's always been part of a winning organization. This system is a system that was kind of actually built for him. He was drafted to be the heir apparent of Tom Brady, but Tom Brady just decided that he was never gonna die, and he drank the fountain of youth, so he wasn't going nowhere. He was also brought in, and he was able to do what I'm pretty sure we are going to try to do the same what the Niners are kind of doing, which is running the ball and making the right decision with the ball when it's time to throw it. And at the end of the day, yes, the Niners defense was amazing and got them in the position, but somebody has to throw the ball. Somebody has to make the right choices. And my thing is, I hope he just comes over here and does that. And with that, I really want him to also kind of flourish a little bit, because at the end of the day right now, our defense, how they're looking really good from what I've seen and everything that I'm hearing, all the camp reports, just even the games that I've watched, how they've been playing. Like, yeah, I know we've always been a really good preseason team, but just to watch our defense's mentality, watch the plays, hear about the camp, hear about what's going on, I feel like they're changing. I feel like they're becoming aggressive now. I feel like Patrick Graham, our defensive coordinator, is getting it. He's understanding, and he's probably simplifying things and making it to the point where we have a good old D line. Let's take advantage of that and not give up the quick things. You know what I'm saying? Make these quarterbacks have to hold the ball for a second. So I think with Jimmy coming, displaying a winning attitude that he's had before, as long as he makes the right decision with the ball, I don't see anything bad with it. But my only gripe with it is we've all noticed and we've all known this, being Raider fans, having friends that are Niner fans and trying to bring them down to earth. Jimmy is not the one to go win you the game. Jimmy's just the one to make sure you don't lose it. So I don't know if that's what we need right now. I feel like we might need somebody to go win us the game. So
Lenny, I know you're going to be optimistic on this one. Let me jump in here first. For me, I want to give Jimmy his credit for what he did with the Niners, because he took them to a Super Bowl. He took them to another NFC Championship game. You can say the defense was great, but bro, somebody had to play quarterback for those teams. So I got to give him his credit. I know a lot of Niner fans say, the Jimmy throws where he would just kind of throw it up at certain points and it would be an interception, but he won a lot of games. And I think for the Raider system, it's like you said, it's off the run game, but he's just, hey, when the play starts, you throw here or you throw here, and you don't have to think too much. You know what I mean? And they're gonna simplify it for him. So I think it's a good fit for him for maybe a year or two. I don't want to look too far into it. Obviously, we're gonna get into Aiden O'Connell and whatever that means in the future, but I like it for right now. I think I'm cool with it.
My first thought was, this can't be real.
Oh, okay.
It can't be real. We went from DC 400.
DC 400.
Jimmy, let me get an INT. Jimmy, let me get an INT.
Hey, hold on. Before we go anywhere else, I know he's our quarterback, but Lenny, who gave him that nickname?
Jimmy, let me get you an INT.
Thank you.
Yes.
Been call this boy Jimmy. Let me get an INT for a minute. But anyway, go ahead, Lenny. I'm gonna let you.
So it's just like, I know he's been in winning environments. I know he's been to the Super Bowl, but Trent Dilfer been to the Super Bowl. Brad Johnson been to the Super Bowl. Like what Rashad just said, these are the quarterbacks that will get you there, but I'm not sure if they're going to win you the game. Now, unfortunately, those two quarterbacks I just named, Buccaneers whooped our ass because they had a top defense in the Super Bowl, and the Ravens whooped our ass in the AFC Championship, and I was there when Shannon Sharp scored and Syracuse sat on Rich Gannon's ass. They had the best defense arguably ever with Trent Dilfer.
I'll never forget that. Let me ask you this though, Lenny. Let me ask you this: those defense win championship type of teams, would that win in 2023?
Those defenses?
Those type of teams, would those win in 2023?
I mean,
the Buccaneers, hell no. That Buccaneers team,
would win in 2023 with Mahomes and all these different quarterbacks.
No.
That Ravens team,
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, but they was laying people out, bro. It's just way different.
But go ahead. What I'm getting at is that, yes, I think he's not a horrible quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's right in the middle. But from what we've seen for the last 9 years and like how they did DC, I just hope that he can just try to get us there. Because I'm already talking about the AOC train. I'm already starting to look into, because Jimmy can never finish a season. And before AOC started coming around, we're like, who's going to be the guy that's going to come in? Because Jimmy's not going to finish the season. So as long as Jimmy can play at least 5 games and get like 3 wins, 3 out of 5, and then AOC takes over, because we also got Brady there to guide him, and we got Kyle Boy. What is it? Kyle Boyle, the Destroyer. He's there too.
Hoyer,
So
yeah,
like
Hoyer.
that knows the system. So we can have the franchise guy, and we can have the new number 4 take over.
That's crazy. They gave him number 4. I don't care.
Already?
That's crazy. They gave him number
Jimmy
4
already. That is.
I'm not giving up on Jimmy yet, but I just know Jimmy's not going to finish the season. Because I mean, if he does finish the season, they went to the Super Bowl with the Niners when he finished the season. So I give him that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I need to see it before I'm fully sold.
I definitely wanted them to get a high draft pick, quarterback. That's what I felt like they were going to do. Obviously, they didn't take any of them. They did take a quarterback in the 4th round, Aiden O'Connell, which we're definitely going to get into. But I do think they wanted a personality change at the quarterback position. You can see early in training camp, they're making Max Crosby like the face of the team now.
Yeah.
And I feel like they wanted a personality change for like the leader of the group. No shade to Derek Carr, but I just think that's kind of what they were looking for. I think they needed like a personality switch and who's the leader of the team.
Well, one thing I could say is that a lot of players, this has been a thing about Jimmy. Everyone loves playing for him. Everyone loves him in the locker room. Yep. So he must be a really good leader and really good guy. So that could also, he might have like a little juju on the team. That's why he's always winning, because he brings good energy and good vibes. And they want to win for this guy. Whereas
that's what a lot of these young guys need.
Press conference. I don't know no one want to win for a DC. If he cried at the press conference, that's my boy, but he was crying at the press conference. So
and DC's not, he got no shade to having no shade to having.
Better leave my car alone.
Hold on, but
that's
DC, he's not kicking it after practice. Jimmy is like, there's a lot that goes into it. No shade to Carr on that. He got a family. He's just doing different stuff. Jimmy's outside with them. Like
Jimmy is outside.
He's outside with them. So
hey, Jimmy at the strip club.
Jimmy's outside. Jimmy's outside.
Jimmy.
But let me see what we got here. So Aiden O'Connell, come on, Aiden O'Connell. Let's get into it. Rush, you start on Aiden O'Connell. Again, he's looked pretty good. He looked pretty good in the preseason. The Dallas game was a little bit of a struggle for him for sure. But those first 2 games, man, he was accurate. He was poised in the pocket. I was surprised. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I wouldn't say future. We'll see on that. I think it's too early to say on that. But what you think of Aiden O'Connell and our potential for future quarterback?
I know I'm gonna burst some bubbles on this, but kid ain't it, man. I'm sorry. He looked good. Don't get me wrong, but everybody looks good against the backups, bro. If you can't look good against the backups, you for sure ain't gonna be it. That Cowboy game showed a lot. Them was backups, and he did not do that good. And he played damn near the whole goddamn game. My thing is, we as a fan base, I feel like we're searching for something. We're searching for somebody. We're searching, and we want it so bad. And after watching the Niners have their 3rd string quarterback come in and ball out, let's just be honest, he did good. We want that. So the minute we see that we have that some little bit of a potential, it gets magnified. The media doesn't help at all. But it gets magnified. But I'm not going to sit here and rain on the parade, because if he does get a chance to get into the game and he actually does play really good, then, like I said, y'all know me, I'll be the first to say I was wrong. I was like, but also just for me, I think I can't say too much until I really see him against just a bunch of other ones. Until I see him against a whole real starting D, against a team that, the real Niners, you know what I'm saying? The real freaking Cowboys defense, like something, because, it's kind of hard to judge somebody when they are literally playing backups against backups, so, but he was balling. I'm not going to sit here in front. He looked good. His timing was good. He was poised. There is something about being a 4-year quarterback in NCAA, which does transfer over really good. And he does look like he's not scared of the moment, which is also something that I really do like. But I just gotta kind of be honest, and be realistic as a football person, not just as a fan, and just really, I don't want to have too much I want to say assumption or too much hope and get let down. So, but I'm also want to be real in what I've seen and just know that he is playing against twos and threes. And, I did see a couple things I didn't like when he was playing against people that were even close to maybe being ones. But y'all know me. You got to prove something to me for me to really, really give you the graces. And just like I said when we did our mock draft, there's number twos are number twos for a reason. So until that boy is playing against the number ones or is the number one, I gotta wait. I can't really say much. And at this point right now, I don't need a maybe. I need something guaranteed. I'm just ready to be good again. And mark my words, if he turns out to be our, I guess Brock Purdy's gonna be the new, the new Cinderella guy. If he turns out to be our Cinderella, and I'll be happy. I'll be ecstatic because finally we'll get something. But I don't know. I didn't see that much.
Lenny, what you think?
So I agree with we can't jump the gun too soon. It is preseason, but there was a stat line I did see. What was it yesterday? That even including the starting quarterbacks, the starters do play. I mean, they don't play the whole time, but this is all the quarterbacks that's played. AOC was ranked top 10 quarterback rating throughout the whole preseason. Now that's 3 games, but AOC's up there with names that play quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I could say is that he's 25. Like you said, he's been in college for 4 years. And the good thing is he is around a good group. Jimmy, Brady,
Hoyer the Destroyer.
And these guys all know this system that he's going to grow in. So if anything, you see CJ Stroud, you see the Mayo boy that the Titans got, all these other top rookies, they didn't perform as well as Aiden O'Connor that won the 4th round. So I'm not trying, I'm like I said, I'm optimistic, Lenny. I get it. But I think if he gets some time, even if he doesn't.
I haven't heard Mayo boy in like 2 months.
If Jimmy gets hurt, I don't want him to get hurt because that means our season is like really rocky. But if Jimmy gets hurt, I'm not afraid to see what AOC can do.
Well, yeah, like you said, he was playing against twos and threes, but I would love to see him play with ones, and see can he hold up. Like he's throwing the guys. I see a lot of draft passes from, our other rookie, Trey Tucker. Wilkerson, I saw drop some passes. So I would love to see him play with like Devontae and Renfro and Jacoby. Like let's see if they catch those. You know what I mean? But yeah, like the defense would be different also. But I don't know. I don't know. I liked the little bit that I saw. I can't say either way he's gonna be like the franchise guy or not. But yeah, he was a good draft pick. We'll say that.
Definitely.
I think
I can definitely agree on that. He was a good draft.
If Jimmy gets hurt for like a week or two, I don't even know if they would go to him, to be honest. I think Jimmy would have to be out for the season for them to go to Aiden O'Connell. I think they would just go with Hoyer for like a game.
You want to know what?
I think they
honestly, I think they would. I think they would. I think they would so? just because we know what we're getting in Hoyer.
For a game, like
no, but you're there to be like the coach and like
I think he's just there. Yeah, I think he's just there to help with the system at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, no matter who's in the game, the system was ran right. And I think there's a reason why they gave that kid all the burn in preseason. They wanted him to be ready just in case that happens.
Because we know what Hoyer is. Yeah,
and we also know that Jimmy's not always want to stay healthy. So I do think they'll give him the keys. I just don't know if he's going to drive that bitch off the cliff or if he's going to drive that bitch over the bridge. So, but just to touch on some things before we get out of preseason, I do want to say, like I was touching on earlier, I think our defense is going to be actually better this year. And I actually said this on the last episode. If our defense is even the top 20, I'm going to be pissed. I feel like I'm going to be pissed. I feel like the mentality changing. We got to watch Tyree Wilson play. Watch him blow up that one good play he had, but he didn't completely miss the quarterback. At the end of the day, he's a rookie, so he's gonna have a lot to learn. But he did blow up that end. Boy, pushed that boy past the quarterback. He did, make a couple mental mistakes, but I can see he's a raw talent. So I really, really just hope that um, we can develop it and he can really, really get things going. I think the only thing that from him that I didn't like is he doesn't look like he has a high motor. And he doesn't look like he's really always, explosive and on the go. And I hope he just adopts that from Max, because the one thing that Max has is a high motor, and he's always going. So if
He
Tyree can literally just adopt that, I think that'll literally change our defense 1,000. Because that kid was fucking huge. Like, I didn't think he was that big
he's huge.
until he's
Scary
huge.
looking. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's huge.
Yeah, Max is he's a perfect person to be learning from, because Max is the hardest worker, that everybody says. So I think that's the perfect person to be like a mentor for him, for sure. And Chandler, I mean, even though like we're trying to, kind of dismissing Chandler, he's done a lot in NFL. So even if he's not productive like he used to be, yeah, even if he's not as productive, he's at least, he has a technique. He's done a lot, like 10 plus years in NFL. So it's good.
And that's why I would like Tyree to actually be something, because I feel if Tyree is something, it's going to allow Chandler to actually be I would say the veteran and still make the right moves and get the plays that he needs. It'll bring the camaraderie on our defensive line, and I think that's exactly what we need. We need a D line that they all 4 or 3 up front, however we gonna run it, they all understand, like, it don't matter who get there, somebody just need to get there.
And that's
what I'm saying.
And to be honest, shout out to, I got to shout them out. I can't knock it. Bang, bang. That's how their defense is so damn good. They got crazy front seven. As long as, and they're linebackers too, but as long as that 4 can make a push, that's going to make the linebacker job easy. That's going to make the safeties and corners job easy. So one thing I can say right now, and I know we're going to transition into the new, like, the season coming up, I was looking at our depth chart. I think the middle still needs some help. The defensive tackle right there, Diablo at middle linebacker. I mean, he's cool, but he's not. We haven't seen a full season of him. It's still some question marks. At the middle, we need that push up the middle bad. And I hope we can get it this year.
I hope we go after. I don't know if you seen. Well, I know that you've seen. We had talked about it earlier. Christian Kirksey from the Texans got the middle linebacker. He got cut. I really hope we go after him, because there was a lot of linebackers that were on free agency, players that were out there that I feel like we didn't really like. The only one we tried was Jalen Smith, but at the end of the day, he's been cut for so many other teams, so I guess there's a reason. But Kirksey is good, and I really would like him. I think he would be something to bring us together, because since we lost Perriman, we need that. And losing Perriman was big for us. So, and defensive tackle wise, we just can't find one. So I think we definitely need to at least get the linebacker in, because our secondary, from what I'm seeing, is looking nice. And bringing in Marcus was definitely a big move. Definitely, I feel like Marcus is bringing that aggressiveness, that go get the ball mentality into our secondary. And like you had said earlier, pay homage to the Niners, the Bang Bang Nation. Let's be honest, man. Their defensive line is it. They secondary is ass and tits, and I don't care what nobody says.
That's bad.
Them niggas can't cover a fucking soul, and that's how they get exposed. Niggas can be mad at me for all they want. I don't give a shit. If you a real football fan, don't be lying to me right now. Don't lie to yourself, and don't sit here and tell me
they hate mobile quarterbacks. As long as that quarterback,
they secondary can't cover. So, but hey. That's just my thought. But preseason, I just hope that with these 53 mans and some people that got cut, pretty much to be, got cut from these teams. I think if we can go out there and find some good people. So, but I'm not worried about our secondary. Our secondary look really good. I'm actually just kind of worried about the defensive tackle, that middle V, that middle triangle, which is our defensive tackle to our linebackers. That's all I'm really worried about. And that was always kind of our vice, because stopping the run was something that we couldn't do, and we still kind of struggle with. So
Byron Young, man, the rookie too. I know he was kind of banged up early in training camp, but We need him to. We need him to step in too, man. Just have some push in the middle.
Alabama.
You know what I mean? Alabama, like we need these guys to, to step right in and be able to help us.
We just traded a guy to the Chiefs today.
That was a 2022 draft pick, bro.
We just drafted him out of LSU. We just had him, I think, in the 4th round.
But I think the dude we drafted after him, I can't remember his name.
From Tennessee. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. He's playing good. So I think that's why we let him go. We drafted a couple defensive tackles, and I think they're actually playing good. I think that's why we ended up letting him slide. You know what I'm saying? So, but
yeah. So what would be a successful season for you guys?
Go ahead, Lenny.
What would you say? You know what? This was a cool year. Does it have to end in a Super Bowl trophy in Vegas for us, or could there be something else that
the
you
Super Bowl is Vegas this year, and
it is in Vegas. It is in Vegas.
Okay. A great year. A great year will be 10 wins. But okay, I see something coming. It's like 8 wins. That's 2 more wins than we had last year. 10 wins will be like, all right, we can make a push. We're hot. 8 wins, there's improvement.
So that's a great year for you, or that's a good year? 8 wins.
8 wins is a good year. 10 years is a great win. A great year for us.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you all 3, good, bad, and ugly.
Oh,
in my eyes. Good is I might have to agree with Lenny at 10. I might say 11, 12, just because we have it's a lot, but it's because it's a longer season, so there's one more game. So I would definitely say 10 to 11, maybe 11. For me, 8 is bad. 8 and 9 is bad. Yeah, and that's just because of we're used to that. What's the difference? We always getting 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of that. We need something more. And for me, the ugly, tanking for Caleb. And I love ugly right now. I'm just being honest, bro.
The Cardinals are doing that. I ain't trying to only win 2 games for Caleb, for sure.
They just punted the year already.
Me either. But you want to know what the Cardinals are doing? Because they traded that other pick last year. What they trying to do, this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. I'm telling you. They're going to lose out. They don't need Caleb. But somebody is going to want him. And somebody going to sell the farm to get that boy. So what they going to do, fuck it. Kyler about to be hurt half the season anyway. Louise, just do what we can do. We win some. We really want to lose them. Let's get some more draft picks. Because if you could turn around and take that pick, because if they only win 3 games, they guarantee top 2 pick. It's top 3 picks. Somebody gonna want to move up to that spot. Let's talk about the Niners. Look what the fuck they did. Look at all the shit they gave up just to go get Trey Lance, and that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Look at what the Houston Texans did just to get Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. They gave up hella shit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so what I'm saying with that, that is the right there. That's the instance of that's what they're doing, and their GM is. I think the Cardinals GM at the end of the day is being kind of smart right now because they don't really know what they got. They don't know what they got with this new coach, and maybe the coach can want some new stuff. And Kyler, at the end of the day, even though people talk about he gonna play, honestly, let's be real, he probably ain't gonna play till after week 6. You know what I'm saying? Even if he does come back and play. So I think they're being smart. So I think they're not taking for Caleb, but taking for the picks. And that's the case. But for me, I don't want ugly. Trust me, you know me, Lenny. I don't want ugly. I don't want to sit here and watch us lose. I said, but I also don't want to be a bad middle of the pack and be used to it and then turn around and you take our draft and whiff on these picks again. I'm not saying we whiffed on Tyree Wilson. We'll see what happens. I would love to happen, but Jalen Carter was there. You know what I'm saying? We did have an opportunity to go get some people that could have made an impact right now, but it's okay. So I think that if for me, if we ain't going 11 or 12 wins, and you're gonna go that 8, give me the 6 and the 7, and let me just build this. Let me build up for next year. Let me see what we got because Devontae only got a couple more years, man. And with that being said, either we got to go sell them picks to go get a quarterback that's going not wants to lead a team, or we got to do something because I ain't getting no younger.
I think 10 wins will get you in.
So I think a great year. I don't even want to say a total number yet. I think a great year is getting into the playoffs and actually winning the game, because I think we got there right against the Bengals, and it's crazy. We got there, we go to the last possession with them, and then they end up going to the Super Bowl. Like that's how close the margin is in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like they ended up going to the Super Bowl, taking the Rams down to the fourth quarter too. So like that's how close it is. So if we can get in and win a game, I would say that's a great year. I would say a good year is, I just want to see our defense improve. That's the biggest thing. I want to see Tyree Wilson be able to help us. Our defense actually be legit. It doesn't have to be the best, but I want to see it actually take a step, because we've been so awful the last few years defensively. So forced turnovers, things like that. Like that's a good year for me. And then the worst is Jimmy's hurt and we win 4 games and we asking Josh McDaniels to turn his keys in. So that's what I would say the breakdown is. But if we can get in and actually win a game, that would be successful.
Yeah, speaking on when you talked about lost that Bengals game, I was mad, bro. I really, really felt like that year we actually had a chance to go.
Bro, I was with Jeremy.
We battled.
I was numb, bro.
We battled every game that year. We were pulling out some amazing victories that year. We were freaking car was cooking. Everything was just working, and just to lose that game the way we lost it, it was so heartbreaking because I knew in my heart, I don't care what nobody else gonna say, if we went up to play the Chiefs that next game, I had all confidence we was about to win that game. Couldn't even tell you why. I couldn't tell you why. Like I don't even know why. Like even not being a realistic football fan, people would say I'm tripping, but I really, really had confidence in our team that year with that playoff run, and I knew all we had to do was win that first game. I think that's our thing. I think once we get into the playoffs and we win that one game, I think it's all over. I think our whole bad juju's gone. I think everything's gone. Because think about it, bro. We have not won a playoff game, period. Even if we've been there, we ain't won one. 2003. That's what I'm saying, bro. We haven't won a game in forever. Like we've been there.
But that's why we need for them to get in and actually win a game. It would go so far with them, like for Max to actually get a playoff win, for the younger guys, the young draft picks, Josh Jacobs, like, okay, get in, see how it is. It's way more that goes into a playoff game than regular season game. So it would build a lot of confidence if we get in and do that. So
for sure.
Yep.
So a couple more things, man. So give me a season total. How many wins you guys got? I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna say I got us for 8 wins. That's my total. I want to see the defense. Maybe we can, halfway point, see how many we can do. Maybe, if our defense is forcing turnovers and playing lights out, maybe we can get to 9 or 10. There's going to be some close games that come down to a field goal at the end of the game. You know how it goes. But right now I say 8 wins.
So prior to knowing who we were going to play, like division-wise, I was definitely kind of more optimistic. I definitely would say that 9 or 10 thing what Lenny had said. I felt good, but the division we're playing is on the other side is ridiculous. We are playing the fucking Bills, Miami, and fucking like that's all I really got to say at that point. And it's like it's gonna be hard. Realistically, honestly, man, I'm thinking 7 or 8. And that's just because I don't know what our defense is right now. It's kind of hard to say that when we don't know because they're all new again, and there's all a bunch of new different things. And I'm only saying 7 or 8 so I can set my expectations low. So I'm gonna definitely say 8. I'll give us to 7, and it sucks to say that. Like I really don't want to say that, but I'm just only giving us a 7 or 8 because if we end up with 9 or 10, I'll be happy as hell. So.
Be hyped. So we're ending with optimistic Lenny again. Now he is always upbeat on what's going on. So I'm trying to pump you up, Lenny. You got to save us, bro. You got to save us. You got to tell us we're going to the playoffs this year. We both just said 7 wins and 8 wins. So, I mean, come on, give it to us. Tell us we're gonna make the playoffs. Come on.
I'm not gonna go that far. But it's really about it's luck at the end of the day. We got a lot of the bad calls. We got to get the right calls this year. Because if we got some of the bad calls last year, like I said, we probably would have won like 3 or 4 more games. That was 6 wins last year. So right now, I'm going to go with 9 wins right now. 9 total wins.
And the crazy thing, 9 wins would have got us in the playoffs last year.
Exactly.
I was pissed. Yeah, bro. But okay. I feel like it same like I said, it's kind of hard to say. If you ask me this question after week 1, week 2, and I see how the defense plays, I might have a different answer for you.
What's going to be big is the first quarter of the season. If we win against Denver, that's 1-0. If we still a win against Buffalo, that will change a lot because everyone's coming into that game knowing we're not favored. We're probably going to be like probably an 8-point underdog or a 10-point underdog.
8. It's gonna be wise. Buffalo gonna be favored by 13.
Yeah. They're gonna be, and it's their. I don't know if that's their home opener, but
it is.
But that will be a good time to steal a win. The beginning of the year when they're not clicking in their rhythm yet. So if we can go in Buffalo, and then if we come back home for that home opener Sunday night against the Steelers, we're definitely winning that if we're coming back home 2-0. Again, it's still a win. So to me, obviously the season opener, Denver, we hate the Donkeys. I feel like we got like a winning streak on them. We've been whooping their ass for a long time. Beat them, and then the real test will be week 2. If we beat the Buffalo week 2 and come home 2-0, prime time against the Steelers, and we got a winning streak on them too, that will set us off because that's when all the Jimmy G, all he does is win hype start winning. Like, oh, the Raiders are 2-0, or oh, they're coming home, they're 3-0. Like, so to that Buffalo game, and obviously the first game.
But let's be honest. Past what 6 years we've been starting out like that, and look where we've been. So, but I definitely feel you because that's 3 hard. That's 3 hard.
Those are tough games, and it's early in the year.
We could pack it up if we lose to that Denver game. If we lose that Denver game, we could pack it up. Respectfully, I don't see a lot from them.
Year, I wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't feel good.
There's no.
It matters
Jerry
how
Jeudy,
we lose.
No
it matters
Tim
how
Patrick,
we lose.
No Tim Patrick, no Jerry Jeudy. Javante's coming off of ACL. He's probably not going to play. A limited of snaps. Right. We're catching him at the best time. First game under a new coach. Like, we have to get that first one, bro. Like, we're gonna go across. We're going across country to Buffalo. I have hesitation on Buffalo, but if we can get that first one, I'll at least feel better about the rest of the season. If we can get that first one, for sure.
Yeah, let's take one win at a time.
One at a time. One at a time.
We got the Donkeys in what, 2 weeks now, or a week and a half?
Yeah, basically a week and a half.
Hey, with that, you know what it is, man. Another great episode. We had the Niners on. Definitely had to come at the Raiders show because you know what this is, man. Raider Nation or no nation, stop playing. Lenny, it was great having you on, man. You're a great friend to both of us.
Thank you.
This is definitely something that we started because you gave us a lot of motivation to definitely hop on the train and keep it going. And I definitely respect you for it. One thing I want to tell a lot of people is I definitely started this podcast bouncing it off on Lenny. Definitely asking him how he felt about me doing it. He definitely pushed me to do it. And I appreciate you for it. But hey, Lenny, you got anything you want to say before we get up out of here, man? Anything you want to say to people?
Thank you guys for having me on here. I appreciate it. I appreciate the flowers. The show is dope, bro. Y'all doing your thing, man. Keep it up. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's gonna be watching it. Like, this is a good start, and shit, it's gonna be more stuff popping off for you guys. So keep it up.
For sure. We're gonna have you on again too, man, during the season. So we appreciate it, brother.
For sure. We gotta have me on during the NBA season so I can talk about that Laker gang. L gang.
Bro, we was doing good, bro.
We went a whole hour. We went a whole
hour, bro.
There
you go, man. Hey,
this man tried to come on the pod with a Laker jersey on. We was like, nah, bro.
I know what I'm saying. I just have to let it go.
Hey, but anyways, man. With that being said, Lenny, we do appreciate you. Jeremy, you know what it is, man. Always love. You know, it's always great times. Before I get out of here, though, I definitely want to say one thing. Man, hey, as a man, I know sometimes it's kind of hard to show vulnerability. So to all you men out there, man, if you going through some shit and you need somebody to talk to, or you ain't feeling right in your life, man, lean on your boys, man. Say something to your boys, man. Say something to your friends. Lenny would know, one of our friends just, said something to us the other day, and we didn't realize some things. Because at the end of the day, we men, we don't really notice emotions like that sometimes. So, men out there, women too, I know how y'all are, but this is just for the men, because I know being a man, sometimes when people don't understand how hard it can be. But as a man, don't be afraid to show vulnerability. Don't be afraid to open your mouth. And remember one thing, man, Rose always tells you, man, don't forget to put yourself first. Because at the end of the day, your life matters the most. And that's no more timeouts, and we checking out, man. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.